Which one's your favourite Rocky film?
Funnily enough, the one we're talking about today, Rocky IV.
Ah, yeah.
A lot of creative people would say they suffer for their art. I don't think any creative person suffered as much as Sylvester Stallone did while making Rocky IV, when he asked Dolph Lundgren to hit him for real, and Lundgren responded by immediately sending him to the hospital.
I must break you.
If you've never seen Rocky IV, the basic premise is that the eponymous Rocky challenges one Ivan Drago, a Russian man-mountain and occasional master of the universe, to a fist fight after the latter beats up his mentor Apollo Creed in the most one-sided boxing match in history since Bruce Lee tried to wash his car with a brick. If you've never seen the film, spoilers, Rocky wins in the 15th round after weathering almost 45 solid minutes of haymakers to the face. In an effort to make some of the hits in the film look as realistic as possible, Sylvester Stallone proposed to Dolph Lundgren, who was playing Ivan Drago, that they spar for real for a few minutes. A suggestion that Lundgren wasn't all that happy with.
So why wasn't Lundgren happy about it?
Well, when he was sparring with Karl, who played Apollo Creed, he'd similarly not held back, and during their sparring session, he'd hit Karl so hard he flung him about 3 feet through the air, and Karl wasn't happy about that, and it almost broke down into a real fist fight. So Lundgren was very mindful of the fact that when Stallone asked him, "Oh, do you want to just spar for real for a bit to get some really good shots for this movie?" He was like, "No. The last time I did that, I nearly punched one of the actors clear across the ring. I'm not falling for that again." Stallone did train very hard for those movies. He did do a lot of boxing training. But the idea of Rocky is that he's not a great boxer. He's just got a cast iron chin. The thing about Rocky is that he just keeps going. He's like a juggernaut in the ring. He takes the hits and keeps on going. The thing about Ivan Drago is he's like a fucking monster.
Whatever he hits, he destroys.
After being endlessly badgered by Stallone, Lundgren finally caved and agreed to spar for real to get some shots for the movie.
And how did this fight go?
Well, the fight went about as well as you'd expect, considering what Dolph Lundgren looked like at the time. They rung the bell and Lundgren walked straight across the ring and punched Stallone so hard in the chest that he immediately just collapsed on the floor, gasping for breath.
Who hit you the hardest, do you know?
Dolph Lundgren put me in the hospital for 4.5 days.
Dolph Lundgren, really?
It was unbelievable.
Lundgren punched him so hard right here in the chest that Stallone's heart rushed and smashed against his own ribcage and began immediately swelling up. And that's an injury that can kill people. Just imagine watching that from the sidelines though, and when you know, you've got the script in front of you, Rocky wins, and say, okay, we're just going to spar for real so we can get, some really good crunching shots for like halfway through this movie. Like one of the first punches Lundgren throws for real, the star of the movie immediately goes down clutching his heart like he's been shot. What would you think if it's like, that's not in the script, Rocky's supposed to win this, and Lundgren's there like, I didn't do anything. Imagine if Stallone had died. Like, how did they get a stand-in to film the movie? It's like, you're standing in for Sylvester Stallone. Oh, so what happened, Stallone? Oh, well, Lundgren punched you so hard he fucking died. Get into the ring and spar with him, the script says you win.
If he dies, he dies.
The best bit about this though is that Sylvester Stallone thinks it's quite funny, and he's talked about like this injury a lot in interviews since, and he compares it to an injury a lot of car crash victims have when the car comes to a sudden stop and your chest smashes into the steering wheel, causing a similar injury where your heart keeps rushing forward and hits your chest, swells up. Which means that Dolph Lundgren actually hit with enough force that it's comparable to a fucking car crash.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Stallone would talk about this all the time. You'd think it might damage his rep.
I don't think it affects your reputation as a big tough action star when you get knocked to the ground and sent to the hospital by a punch comparable in force to the kind of trauma car crash victims suffer when they collide with another car. Like, oh my God, Stallone, what a pussy, going down after being hit by a punch that doctors say is comparable to that suffered by people in giant car wrecks. Oh no. If you'd been in a car crash and suffered the exact same injury and then walked away from it and went and continued filming Rocky for a film where he spends all his time getting punched in the face, people say, man, how tough is he? Just because the injury was caused by a punch doesn't make it any less impressive, I don't think.
Rocky Balboa is in serious trouble. They might have to stop this one before somebody gets killed.
But this story gets better because while Sylvester Stallone was lying in hospital nursing his punch wounds, his insurance company initially refused to pay his hospital bills. In fact, in a 2006 interview with Entertainment Weekly, Stallone revealed that his insurance company initially believed his injuries had been caused by a truck.
So why would the insurance company not believe him? He was doing a boxing film.
Well, Brad, just for a second, put yourself in the shoes of the people working at that insurance company. Something I'm going to help the audience visualise right now. Now, Brad, check this out. We've got an insurance claim here from Sylvester Stallone.
The actor?
Yeah, apparently he was injured filming the new Rocky movie. According to this, he was punched while rehearsing a fight scene with Dolph Lundgren and had to be sent to the hospital. And he just wants us to pay his hospital bills. This shouldn't be an issue. People get injured on films all the time.
A couple of broken ribs, I imagine.
I'm assuming so, yeah. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, God, this medical report's quite long. One Dr. Wang here says that Mr. Stallone suffered injuries comparable to that of a car crash victim, and his heart was slammed against the inside of his chest, causing it to swell. I don't know about you, we've done a lot of these forms. When's the last time you heard of anyone getting punched so hard it looked like they'd been in a car crash?
I don't think that's ever happened.
I don't think that's ever happened. I think Stallone might be trying to pull a fast one on us here. It sounds to me, the insurance expert that I am, that Stallone was injured in an actual car crash and he's trying to pull a fast one on the movie and getting them to pay for it. I'm not happy about it. I'm going to fucking query this, mate. I'll get to the bottom of this if my name isn't Karl Smallwood, lawyer man. I hope you all enjoyed that super realistic dramatisation of the exact conversation I think went down between people working for Stallone's insurance company.
So what happened afterwards?
Well, the production company got the unedited footage of that fight, I should say, between Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren and sent it to the insurance company as proof that Stallone's injuries actually were caused by a human fist. And the insurance company took one look at them, went, holy shit, this guy took a punch from He-Man, and immediately just honoured the claim. I've got to say, it's a shame that Google didn't exist back then, because I think if they'd just Googled Dolph Lundgren and saw a picture of him looking like this and gone, yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy could hit you with enough force that you go down for the count and it looked like you've been hit by a fucking car. There's a really great quote from Stallone though, it says like, I was arguing with my insurance company and I'm saying, look, just pay my goddamn hospital bills. And they went, no, we don't think you were hit by a human. It looks like you were hit by a truck. And apparently Stallone like pointed at Lundgren and just went, I was hit by a truck. Look at it, it's right over there. That guy is a truck. But here's the best bit. That footage that they had to send to the insurance company, you know, the footage that shows Sylvester Stallone going down like a sack of shit after a single punch from Dolph Lundgren, actually made it into the movie. But Brad, it gets better. Do you know where they use that footage?
Where?
They use it in the first 15 seconds of the fight between Drago and Rocky. You know, the fight that Rocky managed to survive 15 rounds of. So yeah, technically, the first punch Ivan Drago threw in Rocky IV should have realistically sent Rocky straight to the hospital with like clutching his chest, dying. But no, Rocky somehow managed to last 15 rounds and won. Because that's Hollywood magic, baby.
So your favourite Rocky film is Rocky IV?
Yes, it is.
Which is your favourite Rocky montage?
I think the montage from Rocky IV as well, because that's the one where it shows like Rocky training in the wilderness, like lifting rocks and running through snow, and Ivan Drago working out in this like super high-tech gym. But they're all great, to be honest. The thing that annoys me, though, is I've been to Philadelphia, and you know the Rocky steps from the movie, like the Rocky steps that he runs up and gets to the top and he's like dying almost because it's so difficult to run up the top. I ran up those stairs and like, it was like 12. I'm exaggerating, there's like more than that, but I ran up them and got to the top and went, Rocky found this difficult. I get Rocky had just run like 25 miles to get there, and after all this run up a flight of stairs would be quite difficult. But I got to the top and went, oh, no, I guess that wasn't too big a deal. And while I was there as well, obviously everyone who was coming was running up the stairs. People were getting to the top and celebrating. Like literally getting to the top and going, yeah, like Rocky does at the end of the movie. Like, oh, like He ran a couple miles before he did this. He didn't just run up these stairs. This is not worth celebrating. The thing that got me is, like, we live in Sheffield, don't we? The steel steps are near my house. The steel steps are harder to climb than the rocky steps. I would celebrate if I ran up those bastards. The best thing was, like, because obviously there's loads of people that are trying to sell shit. There was a guy who ran to the top of the rocky steps while I was there in a rocky onesie and got to the top and started celebrating like an asshole, as is Rocky tradition. And I went home and got a photo with him, which I'll send you, and it's him just clocking me on the jaw. He's in this Rocky onesie. And they were like, oh, are you British then? I said, yeah. So you came all the way here to run up the rocky steps. Not just to run up the rocky steps, but yeah, kind of. So, oh, how'd you find it? Oh, not great. Pretty easy, to be honest. To get to the airport, I had to walk up a bigger flight of stairs. When I was leaving my house to go to the train station to get on the airport, I had to go up a bigger flight of fucking stairs.